live from Los Angeles. Welcome back to Good Morning LaLa. And we are here talking again with another recording artist, epic human being, and gorgeous love right here, LaLa Pieri. She is a recording artist. So tell us a little bit about what your latest project is.
Yes, I currently have a song out that's called What You Gonna Do. It's a song that I think truly speaks to a lot of anxieties in relationships, but like the happy anxieties.
What are the happy anxieties?
I said that and I realized what I was saying.
Maybe the anticipation, the positive anticipation. Maybe.
Yeah, it's like when you're falling for someone, but you don't know how they feel, and you have that weird impasse where like, I feel this way. Do you feel this way? And you're kind of both in that weird moment where you're like, what you gonna do about it? That's called What You Gonna Do.
I like that. So what you gonna do about it?
Exactly, yeah.
That's the question. Like, what do you do about it when you're in that space?
Look, I'm forward, I'm direct. I lay it all out. When I'm in that space, I'm like, I like you. I feel like you like me too.
Yeah.
Is this a game? Yes. Yeah, I'm that person. It's awful sometimes.
Have you also been that way in your career? Were you that clear?
Yes, but I'm very lucky because I have a mentor that knows how to control my impulses in a sense. I'm very impulsive, and I work with Corey Rooney, who is amazing and incredible, and he always knows when to tell me to stop and when to let me run wild with my ideas. So it's always such interesting times to work. Yeah, it's really cool.
So sorry. Oh yeah, we've got your video here. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the video.
Yeah. Oh well, so I took the concept of the song and. Have you ever been on Instagram on someone that you're interested in and you're like 32 weeks deep? But you're like 32 weeks deep and you're like, I cannot like this photo for the life of me. And if I do, I need to move countries, change my name, and change my status.
Yeah.
I kind of took that feeling and I was like, what if like that was real? And there was someone that went to that extreme but took that even farther. So the video, I mean, I hope that it's there. That's that story of how far is obsession good, and nowadays with social media, how far is it dangerous?
Would you care? Like if somebody came on your page and they liked a thing like 32?
No, that doesn't bother me.
Would it be like?
It's the crazy psycho DMs that never stop. That's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot.
And you block and they create a new profile and then.
Oh my God, yes. And the worst for me are like when you can tell that you need space and people just don't give you the space.
Yeah.
It's like, I love you so much, but I need some space.
Yeah. I don't love you that.
Yeah, totally.
But when I do catch someone on that like 32 weeks ago, I usually screenshot and I send it to them and I'm like, I'll see you.
That's cute. So today we're talking a little bit about declaration and how at some point, I think that we don't want to plan too much ahead, but at the same time, there's a decision of like who you really choose to be in this life. And did you declare yourself to be a recording artist? Was it something that just naturally came about, or did you make a declaration to yourself?
It was a bit of both, honestly. Well, I moved to the U.S. from Brazil about 5 years ago, and that's kind of really where I set my goals.
That would be a commitment.
Yeah.
Like, we're doing this thing.
Exactly. And it was more of a moment where I had to prioritize my own dreams and wishes and health and desires over what others expected of me. So I do feel like there was a declaration at that point where I was like, I'm doing this for myself and I'm going after what I want and what I believe that I can do. So I feel like I had that moment about 5 years ago, and I'm only seeing all the seeds I planted come to start blooming now, 5 years after, where I'm starting to really feel secure in who I am as an artist and feel secure in my music and my craft and my art and how I work. So it's taken a hot second.
That's no small thing, though. I mean, one thing's to declare, another thing's to go commit and burn the ships, right?
That's right.
It sounds like you burn the ships.
Yeah.
You probably don't even know what that means, right?
I don't, but I have a feeling that it's something positive, so I'm gonna stick with it.
Stick with that. No, it's really about a true story about basically being at war and getting the soldiers to a position and basically burning the ships. Like, we're not leaving unless we're either dying or we're winning.
Like, you can't retreat.
You can't retreat,
absolutely.
Right?
I love that. I love that so much because I feel like, especially when I talk about moving here and also just all the things that go along with it, is it's so easy to overlook all the sacrifices that need to be done. And I mean, my family's back home. All of my family's back home. So I miss them. I barely get to see them. And there's a sacrifice that goes into that,
Totally.
into being here on your own in a different country. And I mean, while Brazil and the US are pretty similar, there is a culture shock factor. And sometimes I just I want my mom. I'm 22, I want my mom. And my mom is an ocean away, kind of, a continent away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you stay the path and how do you keep the faith in the midst of all that, particularly when things aren't going well, maybe professionally and you're maybe going through a low period? Is there anything you found or discovered that really works for you?
Ironically, my music is a lot of my therapy. I've discovered that a lot of times if I don't try to use my words and just try and use musicality, I'm able to talk and get feelings out that otherwise I wouldn't. And I learned that meditation is a beautiful thing. I meditate every morning, and I started doing that in January, and my life has been significantly healthier.
Wow.
My skin is even clear. Like, what do you need for clear
true.
skin? I'm like, meditate.
Yeah,
drink
people don't
water.
know. It stops that release of cortisol, it's stress hormone.
It
Right.
is something we found as a common denominator, all the people that have come on the show, that most people start the day with some kind of a practice,
Yeah.
some kind of, ritual, some kind of spiritual practice. So
Yeah,
how did you find out about that, and what do you recommend? Obviously meditation, any particular type of meditation or anything you recommend?
I do guided meditation. I found that out randomly because I started listening to a bunch of podcasts because I needed to clear my brain. I was like, I'm listening to too much music. I need my brain to just be able to think. And so I found some podcasts, and then someone recommended an app that was for guided meditation. And then I found it from podcasts. And then I just, every day in the morning, I take 30 minutes for myself to water all my houseplants and sit down on the floor and just listen and trying to clear my brain and breathe. Breathing is so hard. No one really talks about how hard breathing is. And that's the thing that guided meditation really did for me, is take a second to really breathe in and
Before you say what you're going to do,
yes.
always going to take a breath before you say that,
Yeah.
for sure.
I know what comes out if you don't take that breath.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to stress yourself out. Like, you really need to be your own cheerleader so many times.
Yeah.
And,
Well, you're such a gorgeous woman inside and out. How can people follow your personal journey along through music?
yes, thank you. I am actually on all social platforms at LaLa Pieri. That's Pieri. It's a hard last name, but
Right.
that's my handle for all Instagram, Twitter, SoundCloud, YouTube, everything.
And I'm sure there's lots of suitors out there that would be dying to know about, is she single or is she available?
She's working on herself.
Yes.
All right.
There you go.
All right, that answer.
Love
That's
that. Totally.
a great answer. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.